Joker Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, was an utter piece of shit. I'm not going to mention much of the musical numbers, as they don't really have any plot points and are awkwardly thrown in as to show his mental status. They're all pointless and only pad out the time. Anyway, this film has extremely stupid, deep visuals, a shallow, desperate story that's a pathetic cash grab that sadly will likely work. This shit-tier story starts 2 years after the death of the guy the first movie copied off of, but this time without a decent side piece that makes you want to, test being a commie. We're shown the new daily life of Arthur, played again by Joaquin Phoenix, as he's belittled and mocked by all, to the point of even kissing other inmates for the enjoyment and laughter of the guards. Motherfucker might as well be holding his pocket while you're at it. We're shown his daily abuse, from being cut while being shaved, guards teasing him, begging for jokes in exchange for cigarettes, which, by the way, this movie will make you want to chain smoke as every character is constantly smoking. Shit looks so fucking cool. Arthur's taken to see his attorney and a social worker to be filmed to see if he's ready for trial, or if he'll be taken for a proper care for his mental illness. Along the way, he sees a woman in a music class who locks eyes with him, calling out to him. This is where the alleged musical shit starts, even though they never finished a single fucking song in this movie. The next day, it's revealed that as a practical joke, the main guard, played by Brendan Gleeson, has Arthur joining the music class to go meet this woman. While in class the next day, Arthur meets Harley, or as they kept saying in the film, Lee. She's played by Lady Gaga, or the creature that goes by the name at least. There, they bond over distraught childhoods, as Lee says her father died, as well as she burned down her mother's home wishing she killed her mother as Arthur did, forming a romance. She also mentions some TV movie made about him that she's seen 20 times, to which he asked, "Is it good?" Arthur is then transferred back to his cell, while along the way he sees that he is fit to stand trial, and the prosecution is led by none other than Harvey Dent. Good to know we can fill the quota of Batman characters in this one too. Can't wait to see him not do anything than tease for being Two-Face. After this, Arthur busts into song and dance, in his head at least, as is all of the musical numbers in the film, which at this point I thought this motherfucker can't sing, nor could he ever. That night, they have a movie night for the inmates, in which Arthur, who's a maximum security prisoner, is left to just go ahead and hang out with the low security people, where Lee invites him to sneak out. Upon rejecting this offer, she starts a fucking fire that no one seems to notice or smell, probably because of all the cool smoking in the film. In the distress, the two of them flee, breaking free from the guards and everyone, running to the front gate to sing and dance for reporters there who are asking Arthur about his upcoming trial. Arthur's thrown in solitary confinement, where Lee sneaks in to visit him, telling him she's being released from Arkham, as he is too much of a negative influence on her. She then reveals she snuck in with makeup to paint him to make him the Joker once again. After this, they proceed to have the most awkward sex scene, in which we have a masterclass of stamina, as the stallion bangs her for all of 15 seconds. Numbers like that make my wife jealous, but looking at what is supposed to be an attractive woman, I'll give him credit for even getting it up. We then start the trial, in which it is exposed that no one really cares about Arthur. Shocking, the fucking plot of the first one remains. Yet again, Arthur couldn't care less either, as all he wants is for Lee to have a better seat in the courtroom. He's accused of faking his mental illness by Dr. Liu, played by Ken Long, who is at the top of my "Hey, that guy" list. Shockingly, Dr. Liu, who only spent an hour and a half talking to him and read one file, wants to throw him in a chair for faking his mental illness. You know, wearing that hat of shotgun shells did nothing to make him more of a people person. After the first day of the trial, Arthur's lawyer, who's a chick only an incel man could love, reveals the truth of Harley to him, about her being a grad student who lives with her parents and made up her childhood trauma, and even admitted herself into Arkham. Lee comes to see him the next day, where Arthur questions her motives, She reveals the truth. That yes, she lied about it all. The most important part seems to be, though, was the TV movie good? How many times did she actually see it? Which is ironic, as this shit should have been a TV movie. She also says she's pregnant, but whatever. We go back to court the next day, where Domino from Deadpool 2 is back, and talks about her experience with Arthur being a kissless virgin. She's questioning if she thought he was dangerous. Just a pussy. When the previously thought 40-year-old virgin can no longer take it, he fires his lawyer, saying he will defend himself. And for some stupid, ungodly fucking reason, they let him, starting the next day with proceedings. Court continues the next day, with the next witness being brought in, Gary, the little person from the first one. Which, by the way, is the saddest I ever felt in a theater, as people were cackling, laughing, as the poor man couldn't open the door after watching that man be murdered in front of him. Gary then recounts the first film and his experiences, as now he feels so afraid and scared of not just Arthur, but everyday life. Such a deep scene ruined by the fact they have this man sitting on the fucking Yellow Pages phone book to give him a boost. Great job, Phillips! Arthur then, for some reason, makes fun of his legitimately only friend and person who was nice to him, and was the best part of the film, other than any of the scenes of the guard mocking him and kicking Arthur's ass, of Arthur doing a Foghorn Leghorn impression as he pretends to be a southern plantation owner. After Gary leaves the stand, Harvey Dent rests his case, to which the response of Arthur to do the same as well, calling no witnesses or anything, just out there being a jackass for the sake of it. It's okay though, as the judge only gives him 32 chances not to make a circus of his courtroom, which Arthur already says is a circus due to Gary being a little person with the last name Puddles. Also, while questioning Gary, Arthur speaks of the poor treatment and conditions they receive in Arkham, mainly by the guards, for which they want revenge. How do they do that? They rape him! Yes. To which he does nothing in return, says nothing in return, just accepts it and moves on because reasons. After said rape, they go on to murder the boy he kissed earlier in the film, who was seemingly his only friend. My thought was it was their attempt at Bob from the '89 movie, but he'll never be as good as Bob, you know what I mean? Anyway, they kill him again for really no fucking reason other than he was singing like everybody else, because the guards are bad guys. The worst part of this, you never see them in the fucking film again afterwards. What was the point of that? He goes back to court the next day, crying to the jury as he denounces himself as the Joker, losing many supporters, including Lee, who now at the end has dressed up as their sad, fucking pathetic attempt of Harley Quinn. After that, they read his guilty verdict, causing him to laugh into hysterics and be attacked by some random asshole in the courtroom who never wanted to before, I guess. While the commotion is happening, a bomb goes off, destroying the side of the courtroom, killing many, destroying half of Harvey Dent's face also. Call that shit, by the way. And Arthur escapes. Don't worry, though. Doesn't escape far. Goes outside, gets in a car with two random dickheads, and they drive away. Until the mighty power of the red light stops them. So Arthur gets out and goes running. And apparently he runs all fucking night, because it cuts from midday to nighttime now. It goes back to Arthur at the famous stairs from the first one, where he sees Lee standing there. She now cut her hair for some fucking reason. I really don't know. She doesn't look like Harley before. She definitely doesn't now. Also, last time you see her in the fucking film. Why did they change her look in the last time you fucking see her? Anyway, Arthur tells her they can run away together. To which she says, no, it was all just a fantasy. He's not the Joker. She doesn't care no more. He asks her about her baby, about her being pregnant with their child. She just starts singing and ignores him. The police pull up and they arrest Arthur again. We're shown Arthur back in Arkham looking sad and accepting the fate of his guilty verdict, regretting his life choices. He's then told he has a visitor as he gets up to go see whom. Another inmate stops him and tells him a variation of the "you get what you fucking deserve" joke before stabbing him and killing him. As Arthur lies there dying, the man either rubs blood on his face or carves a smile onto himself, I guess making him the Joker. While dying, in his head he has one last musical. where he's singing to Harley, asking her for him to have a son and for him to be just like him. Jesus Christ, they're gonna make a third one. They wanted to try to make a third one. Thankfully, though, this piece of shit is over at that note. Now, as a Batman and DC meat writer, even I was appalled by this disgusting attempt at a film. I doubt James Gunn will do much better, but Jesus Christ, anything will be better than this fucking piece of shit. Shout out, by the way, to Michael Emerson, who I thought played the best Joker fucking ever in the Dark Knight Returns animated film.
Enough from the clown!